Greetings. So this is my video response for the post survey, and I did extra surveys than I probably needed to, but these are things I wanted to work on and see what the outcome would be. And so one of the growth goals I had chosen was element 1, which is providing scales or rubrics. So my pre-survey values were for the mean of 4.08, and the post-survey came out as a 4.357. And so it did go up slightly, and it's still in the 4s, so I'm happy with their perception that is on that side of the scale. And this was the highest value out of all the areas that they surveyed. And I believe it's most positive to have an increase in the mean and a decrease in the deviation, and that happened on this one. So I'm pretty happy with the feeling that students feel with using rubrics and scales. Now, the pre-survey deviation was 0.86, so low then too. This time around on the post survey, 0.78. So it did go down slightly, and for me that shows that the students were very similar, tight grouped on their what number they chose on out of the 5. Their responses were similar. Then the second survey was element 4, using informal assessments of the whole class. The pre-survey result was a 4.09 mean. This time through it was up on the post-survey, up 4.1. The bottom line is students view the area in that 4 range, like they're seeing progress. Or feeling proficient in it. The deviation pre-survey was a 1.04. This went up slightly on the post. It was a 1.12. This was the highest value out of all the surveys. I think students have a different perception of whole class assessments, and therefore it was a little bit more of a deviation, a little bit more disparate in the data. It's not ideal to have an increase in your standard deviation, but it's not a huge amount, it's just tiny, so I think it's still valid data. And then my third area was element 32, motivating and inspiring students. The pre-survey was a 4.01, so I'm starting out high in these things that I thought I really needed to work on. So that's part of it too. But the post-survey showed a 4.2. So it did go up 0.2. That's in the right direction. It also had a positive in the mean. And a decrease in the standard deviation, as we had talked about on that first area, so that's encouraging for me to see. In terms of that deviation, the pre-survey was a 0.97. This went down to a 0.81 in the post, so that's showing they're more congruent on their responses. So then I added 2 extra things to survey. And it was tracking student progress. The pre-survey was a 4.35. So again, starting out pretty high, and it went down in my post to a 4.05. Now it's still a 4. I'm just puzzled as to why this went down, because I thought I was being more explicit with the students that, hey, let's track your progress, and you have a journal now. You're tracking your progress too on your own. I'm filling you in on what I see, and it just didn't come out higher, and so I'm confused. But the deviation on the pre-survey was 0.8, and on the post was 0.9. But again, that's just slight, and what can I say? That's the data. That's the outcome. And then the last one was reflecting on learning. The pre-survey was a 4.1. and it went up to a 4.2. Again, very slight, but Yeah, it went up. And then the deviation pre-survey was 0.8 and the post was 0.9. So yeah, it went up, and that's not what we want to see. We want to see it more lower, but it's only up 0.1 value, so we're still within the accurate data deviation area, I think. So that's my outcome. It could be because of the shorter, I got your input that it might be because it was a shorter turnaround, probably about a month or so from the pre-survey to the post-survey. So I do like your advice to check one more time towards the end of the semester, see if these numbers change any. So that's what we're working on. Still a growth goal, I feel, even though it's considered post data and never done though. Okay, appreciate your time.